My boyfriend was incredibly kind to his colleague, driving her to and from work and often buying her breakfast. I warned him to stay away from her, but he just called me petty. The thing is, I was born with yin-yang eyes. I could see another person sitting on that woman's shoulder. As Fu Yanzhou's car stopped, the passenger window rolled down. A delicate-looking woman inside gave me an awkward smile. Sister Zingren, I'm so sorry, I get a little carsick, so I sat in the front passenger seat. You don't mind, do you? My hand, reaching for the car door, froze. It's fine, my sister Zingren is very generous. She won't fuss over small things like this. Deng Zingren, hurry up and get in the car. Fu Yanzhou honked impatiently. The woman in the passenger seat was his female colleague, Chen Jiao. Chen Jiao had only recently joined the company. A few days ago, we coincidentally discovered she lived in the same apartment complex as us. Since Fu Yanzhou had a car, it was natural for her to hitch a ride with him to and from work. At first, it was fine, but these past few days, whenever Fu Yanzhou picked me up after work, she was already sitting in the passenger seat. I was very annoyed, but I held back and didn't say anything. When I opened the car door, I was startled to see another woman sitting in the back seat. She wore a red dress, her head was bowed, her long hair obscured her face, and she was soaking wet, water dripping steadily onto the floor. Fu Yanzhou and Chen Jiao seemed not to notice her at all. My heart tightened. Damn it, not again. I was born with yin-yang eyes, able to see those filthy things since I was a child. When I was little and lived in the countryside, I'd often look up and see a ghost sitting by my bed. Some had half-rotted heads, some bled from all 7 orifices, some had long, dangling tongues. I'd scream hysterically in terror. After my grandfather found out, he tied a red string around my wrist and told me, "From now on, no matter what you see, you must pretend not to. They won't bother you forever." From then on, I truly saw fewer ghosts, especially after moving to the big city as I grew older. I never expected to encounter one after all this time. It was a bit warm today. I pretended not to see anything unusual, rolled up my sleeve, revealing the red string on my wrist. The female ghost next to me stiffened, turning its head to look at me, then indeed shifted a little further away. According to my grandfather, most wandering spirits and mischievous ghosts are due to overwhelming resentment and unfulfilled wishes, refusing to reincarnate. But they also have a beginning to their grievances and an owner to their debts. Unless they've transformed into a vengeful spirit, they won't harm people casually. Initially, I thought this female ghost was just passing through. Once we got out of the car, she'd leave on her own. But then, something unexpected happened. The car drove into the basement. As soon as Chen Jiao opened the car door, the female ghost glided next to her, slowly floating up from behind, then settled onto her shoulder. 2 slender, pale legs dangled down Chen Jiao's chest, with fresh blood still oozing from above. My expression froze, I gasped, a cold shiver running through me. The next second, the female ghost suddenly appeared right in front of me, its pitch-black eyes staring intently. "You see me?" My heart pounded wildly. I pretended not to hear, walked straight past her, and leaned close to touch Chen Jiao's neck. "Your necklace is quite pretty." Chen Jiao shyly glanced at Fu Yanzhou. "It's a gift from a friend." Fu Yanzhou's expression immediately became unnatural. "It's really beautiful, Zingren. If you like it, we'll go buy one too." "Haha, Mr. Fu is so thoughtful. Sister Zingren, I truly admire you." Chen Jiao covered her mouth, giggling charmingly, then waved goodbye to us. "See you tomorrow morning, Sister Zingren. That sandwich you made this morning was delicious." The sandwich was the breakfast I made for Fu Yanzhou, but he hadn't cared for it. I didn't have much appetite this morning, so I gave it to Chen Jiao to eat. She really liked it. How about I make an extra one tomorrow morning? I didn't say anything, just stared at Chen Jiao's retreating back. A ghost riding on her shoulder, resentment soaring to the heavens. This was a situation of eternal damnation. Such strong resentment could easily turn into a vengeful spirit. By then, not only Chen Jiao, but also those close to her would be implicated. "Fu Yanzhou, from now on, stay away from Chen Jiao. Don't drive her to and from work anymore," I said as soon as we got home. Fu Yanzhou's face immediately darkened. "Are you serious, Deng Zingren? Why are you so petty? She just graduated from college this year, and it's not easy for her to make a living alone in the city." What's the harm in me giving her a ride since it's on my way? Can't you show a little sympathy? It's not about that, Chen Jiao, there's something wrong with her, I said sternly, touching the red string on my wrist. Fu Yanzhou stared blankly, then scoffed dismissively. Damn it, this again. Are you crazy? Every day it's ghosts and spirits. Are you a university student or a village shaman? I'm going out for dinner. He turned and slammed the door, leaving. You're nuts. I looked at the closed door and sighed. Well, I can't keep this boyfriend anymore. My grandfather, a maker of paper effigies, was once imprisoned during a special period, and his health deteriorated. He told me many stories about gods and ghosts. I was too young then to remember much, only that he once told me that with my abilities, if I ever encountered a vengeful spirit, I should run away quickly. Fu Yanzhou was handsome, and his family was well off. They had bought a house in this city outright very early on. Although he had a few bad habits, he was indeed a relatively good quality man among my friends. However, all that was nothing compared to my own little life. I immediately opened my suitcase and started packing that very night. After packing for a while, I called to book a moving company for tomorrow. I pulled my suitcase, opened the room door, and found Fu Yanzhou standing outside. He was leaning against the wall with one hand, the other resting on Chen Jiao's shoulder, his body swaying, his face flushed. Deng Xingren, can you stop scaring me every day? Sister Xingren, quickly help him a bit, Mr. Fu got carsick. The two of them were crammed in the doorway. I had no choice but to put down my suitcase first and help Fu Yanzhou inside. The female ghost on Chen Jiao floated ominously nearby, staring at us. Ha ha ha, arguing about what? This stupid Deng Xingren says there's a ghost next to me. As soon as Fu Yanzhou finished speaking, the air in the room immediately dropped a few degrees. My whole body stiffened, my heart pounding erratically. I tentatively pushed the door open. Sure enough, the door wouldn't budge. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of a red figure slowly approaching me. I'm truly fed up with Deng Xingren. Chen Jiao, do you know? She even told me before that she has Yin-Yang eyes and can see ghosts. Every little thing she brings up her grandfather. Her grandfather is just a paper effigy maker in the countryside, but in her mouth, he's like a half-immortal. She's really sick. Fu Yanzhou, eyes half closed, mumbled as he leaned against the shoe cabinet. Chen Jiao let out a snicker. Really? Is that true, Sister Xingren? You can see ghosts. The female ghost was standing right in front of me, its eye sockets filled only with black pupils, no white at all. It glared at me with a ferocious expression. Ghosts are actually very afraid of being discovered, because once they are, it's very likely to attract earthly Taoist priests to intervene and subdue them. So if she knows you can see her, if she's strong, she'll kill you. If she's not too strong, she'll cling to you day and night like a lingering spirit, trying to kill you. Xingren, remember your fate is special. The further away you stay from those things, the better. Our ancestors caused this misfortune, my child. You've suffered enough. Cough, cough, cough. Xingren, if you truly encounter a powerful ghost, don't be afraid, this red string can protect you. In extreme fear, my mind became unusually clear. My grandfather's past instructions echoed in my head. I calmed down and tried to stretch out my left hand to shield myself. Sure enough, a look of horror flashed in the female ghost's eyes, and it quickly recoiled a big step. I let out a sigh of relief, turned around, and supported Fu Yanzhou. All right, Chen Jiao, there's nothing else for you here. You can go home. I'll help Sister Xingren support him. Did I tell you to go home? Didn't you hear? My house doesn't welcome you. I angrily pushed Chen Jiao out of the house. The female ghost followed beside her, water still continuously dripping from her body. She looked at me with eyes that were both fierce and a little wary. Chen Jiao felt wronged and burst into tears. Sister Xingren, why are you like this? I didn't mean anything else. I slammed the door shut. Chen Jiao cried as she went downstairs. I went to the window and looked down. She was sitting on a bench in the apartment complex, wiping away tears. The female ghost was still riding on her shoulder. As if sensing my gaze, the female ghost suddenly looked towards me, making me immediately pull the curtains shut. I looked at my phone. It was almost 10:00 p.m. The closer to midnight, the more aggressive ghosts become. I absolutely dared not go out. Fu Yanzhou was sound asleep on the sofa. I turned on all the lights in the house, hugged my knees, and sat beside him, fuming until I vaguely fell asleep past midnight. Grandpa, can this red string really protect me? I sat on the bed, curiously looking at the red string on my wrist. The string had 3 copper coins threaded onto it. It looked very strong, yet it felt like it would break with just a gentle tug. Grandpa smiled. These are the 5 emperor coins, and they're also engraved with the Triang formation. They're very powerful. Grandpa, what if this string breaks? It won't break. Grandpa, what if I lose it? Grandpa's expression suddenly became very serious. He squeezed my wrist tightly, his cloudy eyes staring at me. If you lose it, you must go find someone from the Jiao family and ask for another one. This is what they owe our family. 13,666. Cough, cough, cough. Remember this phone number, Zingren read it back to me. I cried and struggled. Grandpa, you're holding my hand too tight, it hurts. Zingren read it now. Zingren, memorize this number. This is what the Jiao family owes us. They owe us. I suddenly opened my eyes, gasping for breath. A bone-chilling cold wind swept through. I turned my head and saw the living room window wide open. The white sheer curtain billowed in the wind, and behind it there seemed to be a silhouette standing. I startled awake. I distinctly remembered closing the window. Under the curtain was a puddle of water, dimly reflecting the light under the pale white lamp. My heart pounded erratically. I absolutely dared not go over to check. The phone number from my dream suddenly became unusually clear. I quickly took out my phone and dialed the number from memory. Hello? A hazy voice, sounding like a young girl, came from the other end. I was stunned. Although my childhood memories were vague, I actually still remembered that a day before my grandfather gave me the red string, a strange old man came to the village. He looked even older than my grandfather, with white hair. My grandfather called him Master Jiao. Did I remember the wrong number? Or did he change his number after all these years? Are you going to let go? The little girl on the other end said aggressively. I startled and tentatively asked, I'm Deng Zingren. I want to find an old man named Jiao. Oh, it's you, little girl from the Deng family. I'm Jiao Moyu. This number is now mine, given to me by my master. What do you need, little girl? Her voice was clearly smaller than mine. Just then, the window, blown by a strong gust of wind, slammed against the frame. I screamed. Only then did I realize that the water trail under the curtain had, at some point, spread all the way to the sofa. Deng Zingren, what's wrong? My house, it seems to have a ghost. What should I do? I tremblingly recounted roughly what had happened today. Oh, is that all? It's fine. Listen to me, go over there now and pull open the curtains. The voice on the other end was very calm. I was influenced by her, and suddenly a few parts of courage swelled in my heart. Grandpa trusted the Jiao family so much. If she says it's fine, it probably really is fine. That's right, maybe I'm just overthinking. It seems to be raining outside. The window was blown open by the wind and rainwater splashed in. I'm just scaring myself. I gathered all my courage, walked to the window, stretched out my hand, and yanked the curtain open. The female ghost was standing behind the curtain, soaking wet, her pitch-black eyes glaring at me maliciously. Seeing me, she let out a grotesque laugh, opening her mouth to reveal black teeth and a tongue like a snake's, split at the tip. Her tongue brushed against my cheek, cold and slimy. I was so scared that I froze on the spot, unable to move. Deng Zingren, do you see that female ghost? The girl's voice boomed from the speaker. Slap it twice. Damn it, disturbing my sleep in the middle of the night. The female ghost and I looked at each other. I was on the verge of tears. She's telling me to hit you. I don't want to hit you. The Triang formation is still there. The ghost can't harm you. At most, it can only scare you. What's so scary about being scared? All right, if there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. If anything else happens, we'll talk tomorrow morning. The phone was hung up without a trace of mercy. I clutched the phone, swallowed hard. Anyway, she can't harm me. Maybe we should both save time. I dared not look at the female ghost anymore, turned back to the sofa, and pulled Fu Yanzhou's arm to cover my face. I could feel the female ghost still squatting in front of me, watching me, but after a while, she seemed to truly have no way to deal with me and quickly disappeared. The next morning, I was woken by the phone's ringing. Drowsily, I opened my eyes to see Fu Yanzhou opening the door to receive a large bag of food. He placed soy milk and pan-fried buns on the coffee table, then went into the kitchen to pour me a cup of warm water. Zingren, wake up and eat breakfast. Fu Yanzhou was like that. He had all sorts of bad habits, but after every argument, he would always try to appease me the next day. Seeing him like this, I softened a little. After all, it was a relationship of many years. I couldn't abandon him and run away alone. Fu Yanzhou, I wasn't joking with you. Can you please stay away from Chen Jiao? Fu Yanzhou, who was bowing his head to drink soy milk, immediately stiffened. Deng Xingren, aren't you tired of this? I was anxious. Fu Yanzhou, Chen Jiao has a female ghost following her closely, and there's always a risk of it turning into a vengeful spirit. If you keep driving her to and from work every day, something bad will happen to you too. As soon as I finished speaking, Chen Jiao's call came in. Mr. Fu, I'm waiting for you in the basement. Does your head still hurt? I brought you hangover medicine. Okay, I'll be right there. Fu Yanzhou hung up the phone and scoffed. Deng Xingren, I hate all those supernatural things the most. If you're jealous, just tell me directly and I might consider it. But now you're deliberately using this excuse, so I'm even more inclined to go pick her up. With that, he didn't wait for me, grabbed his car keys, turned around, and left. I anxiously grabbed his arm. It's either me or her, who do you choose? Deng Xingren, how old are you to still be playing these games? What's the point? Fu Yanzhou unceremoniously shook off my hand. In the struggle, I suddenly felt a lightness in my wrist. Looking down, the red string on my wrist had broken. The 3 copper coins fell to the ground, clinking as they rolled. I stood frozen in place, my hair standing on end, my whole body feeling as if I'd fallen into an ice cave. After Fu Yanzhou left, I finally reacted and hastily called Kaio Moyu. What? The red string broke? It was yanked off, that's impossible. Tell me your birth chart. After I recited my birth time, Kaio Moyu calculated for a while on the other end, then sighed. Ah, your fate truly has a great calamity like this. It can't be avoided now. The Deng family really has it hard. Stay at home and don't move. I'll have someone send something over to you. I still have my final exams in the next 2 days. After I'm done, I'll come find you. Try to hold on for 2 days, it won't be a big problem. I followed Kaio Moyu's instructions, picked up the 3 coins, put them in my pocket, and waited at home for a while. A delivery service came to my door and handed me a cardboard box. I opened the box, and inside were 2 paper effigies. The 2 effigies, one blue for a man and one red for a woman, had noses and mouths drawn on their faces, but where the eyes should be, there were only 2 black sockets, no pupils drawn, which looked extremely eerie. I remembered my grandfather's words. When making paper effigies for this profession, you must not dot the eyes. Effigies with drawn eyes but undotted pupils if not, King Yama will invite you. Dragon painting dots the eyes. Eyes are where a person's spirit and essence reside. Paper effigies with drawn eyes are considered opened. Wandering spirits and mischievous ghosts will mistakenly believe these are suitable bodies and possess them, often attracting vengeful spirits seeking substitutes. These next few days are highly inauspicious. Your boyfriend's colleague is likely to encounter trouble soon. Once something happens to her, that female ghost, stained with blood, will turn into a vengeful spirit. She's seen you, so she definitely won't spare you. Burn some of your hair into ash and smear it on these paper effigies. Use these 2 effigies as substitutes. They can help you and your boyfriend avoid this disaster. According to Kaio Moyu, after 10:00 p.m., I placed the effigies on the bed, and Fu Yanzhou and I hid in the room. Our scent would be on the bed, so the female ghost would come, but she would mistake the effigies for us. After she harmed the effigies, we would be safe. What if my boyfriend doesn't believe in it and refuses to cooperate with me? Oh, don't worry about that. Just let him see the ghost. In the package, there was also a small box containing a bottle of ox tear liquid. Trick him into thinking it's eye drops and put it in his eyes. Hanging up the phone, I searched around the bedsheets and pillowcases for a while, finding a few strands of Fu Yanzhou's hair. As Kaio Moyu instructed, I burned them to ash and smeared them on the effigies' faces. After preparing the 2 effigies, I placed them in the large wardrobe. After work, I proactively called Fu Yanzhou. What happened before was my fault. Call Chen Jiao to our house for dinner. Fu Yanzhou enthusiastically bought a lot of food and came home. I pulled him into the kitchen, taking the opportunity to drop the ox tears into his eyes. Fu Yanzhou, this is the last time I'll help you. Later, no matter what you see, you must act calm. Fu Yanzhou, who had been happily tilting his head for me to put in the eye drops, heard my words, and the smile on his face immediately vanished. Deng Xingren, I don't know how you can be so heartless. If you keep spouting this nonsense, get out of my house. Don't you know how much I hate these things? I'm not kidding with you. Fu Yanzhou's face darkened as he carried a bowl of fruit towards the dining table. Chen Jiao bounced over to greet him. What were you two whispering about in the kitchen? The female ghost, originally riding on Chen Jiao's shoulder, probably felt bored, suddenly floated up and hung upside down from the ceiling. Its hair dangled like seaweed, its head perfectly level with Fu Yanzhou's eyes. Its head rotated 180 degrees, facing Fu Yanzhou, and it extended its tongue to lick his face. Fu Yanzhou froze in terror, opening his mouth to scream. I walked over and stuffed a fruit fork into his mouth. Sweet! As I asked, I reached out and pinched his lower back hard. Such a loving couple, you're really stimulating single me. Chen Jiao twisted flirtatiously. Fu Yanzhou tried to force a smile, which looked even worse than crying. Chen Jiao had put on heavy makeup today. At the dining table, Fu Yanzhou kept his head bowed, completely daring not to look at her. I admire you two so much, dating since college, unlike me, I've never been in love. Mr. Fu, you won't laugh at me, will you? Fu Yanzhou wished he could bury his head in his bowl. Yes, I will, I teased him. Oh no, I won't. Fu Yanzhou wiped the sweat from his forehead, continuing to keep his head down. At the dining table, Chen Jiao chattered endlessly, praising Fu Yanzhou. On the surface, she said he was capable at work and a good person, but in reality, she was boasting about how much Fu Yanzhou had taken care of her. Before I could say anything, Fu Yanzhou couldn't take it anymore. We've been eating for almost an hour. Chen Jiao, are you done eating? If you are, go home early. Chen Jiao was surprised, her mouth slightly agape, eyes reddened. Mr. Fu, did I say something wrong? Fu Yanzhou was the softest-hearted person. Hearing Chen Jiao, he looked up, intending to comfort her. The female ghost next to Chen Jiao suddenly flashed, its face almost pressed against his, observing his expression. Fu Yanzhou's face was blank, then reacted, hastily covering his terror with anger. Xingren and I have plans tonight. Are you blind? What time is it and you're still lingering, refusing to leave? His tone was harsh. Chen Jiao couldn't bear it and ran off crying. The female ghost followed behind her. Fu Yanzhou was about to close the door when the female ghost suddenly turned back, her face pressed against Fu Yanzhou's, and in a gloomy voice she said, You see me, don't you? Fu Yanzhou said nothing, merely shivered. Why is it so cold in here? With that, he slammed the door shut. After Chen Jiao left, we both collapsed onto the sofa, gasping for breath. Fu Yanzhou was on the verge of tears. Damn it, I'm scared to death, Deng Xingren, Wu asterisk, why is it so terrifying? What do we do now? You come with me. I went into the bedroom and yanked open the wardrobe door. The two paper effigies stood in the wardrobe, one red, one blue. Fu Yanzhou let out a shrill scream of terror. Seeing him so scared, I felt a secret satisfaction. I recounted Kaio Moyu's words to him. A ghost riding on her shoulder, resentment soaring to the heavens. The death of that female ghost is undoubtedly related to Chen Jiao. After something happens to Chen Jiao, it will be our turn. Fu Yanzhou's face turned pale. So we just watch her get hurt. Can't we save her? Quickly call that Kaio Moyu to help. This is the law of karma. Unless a vengeful spirit harms an innocent person, people from the Xuanmen mystic arts won't get involved. You worry about yourself first. We don't even know if we'll survive these 2 days. I glared at him fiercely, took out the paper effigies, and placed them on the bed. According to Kaio Moyu, we just needed to hide in the room so our scent would be there. I walked around the room, opened the wardrobe, and climbed inside. I'm sleeping in here tonight. Where are you sleeping? I'll sleep under the bed. Fu Yanzhou spread a blanket under the bed. One night passed peacefully. The next day, Fu Yanzhou didn't dare go to work, calling his colleague to request leave. What? Something happened to Chen Jiao. Fu Yanzhou's colleague said. Today at work, Chen Jiao was distracted and put her hand into the paper shredder. 3 fingers were crushed, blood splattered everywhere. Everyone in the office was terrified. calling the fire department and emergency services, busy all morning. Chen Jiao is currently in the emergency room at the hospital. My heart jumped. Sure enough, Kaio Moyu's words were accurate. Stained with blood, that female ghost has turned into a vengeful spirit. She definitely won't let us off the hook. Deng Xingren, is this method really reliable? Or should we find a temple and stay there for a few days? I shook my head, refusing. I instinctively trusted Kaio Moyu. If you want to go, go by yourself. Monks only know how to chant scriptures. Not every monk knows how to perform spells. Don't blame me when you die for not warning you. Fu Yanzhou, who was originally packing his bags to leave, hesitated upon hearing my words. For the next 2 days, we followed Kaio Moyu's instructions, placing the paper effigies on the bed and hiding in the wardrobe to sleep. After 2 nights passed without incident, I breathed a sigh of relief. Perhaps that female ghost was busy dealing with Chen Jiao at the hospital and temporarily didn't pay attention to us. Just 1 more day, and when Kaio Moyu arrives, we won't have to struggle like this. I don't know if your Master Kaio is a braggart or if she's really competent. What if she turns out to be a swindler? Fu Yanzhou said, but still consciously took a pillow and climbed under the bed. I hid in the wardrobe as I had for the past 2 days. Leaning against the wardrobe panel, I was drowsing when I suddenly felt an intense cold. The air seemed humid and heavy. Goosebumps rose on my arms. I vaguely opened my eyes and suddenly felt something was wrong. I gently pulled the wardrobe door open just a crack. Before my eyes appeared a pair of small, slender, pale legs. My heart suddenly stopped. The female ghost walked to the side of the bed. A moment later, I saw the 2 paper effigies on the bed move. The blue effigy lifted the blanket, got out of bed, opened the room door, and walked out. The red effigy remained on the bed. Very soon after, the blue female effigy returned, holding a sharp knife, presumably from the kitchen. Under the dim yellow light, the pale, slender paper effigy walked to the bedside, raised the sharp knife, and savagely stabbed the red male effigy. The male effigy resisted violently, but she stabbed him again and again, his chest quickly being torn to shreds. Then, she raised the sharp knife and pointed it at her own chest. If Fu Yanzhou and I hadn't hidden, these 2 effigies would have been our fate. My heart pounded wildly. I covered my mouth, held my breath, not daring to move. A moment later, both effigies lay motionless on the ground, paper fragments fluttering in the air. The female ghost stood with her back to me by the bed, letting out a sinister laugh. "Ha ha ha, you wretched dogs, daring to seduce my husband. Die, all of you die." After laughing for a while, she seemed about to leave. I was about to breathe a sigh of relief when I saw her body suddenly arch backward, bending her back, supporting herself with her hands on the ground, and then crawling forward on all 4s like an animal. Fu Yanzhou was lying under the bed. The female ghost with her arched back had her line of sight perfectly level with Fu Yanzhou. 1 person and 1 ghost stared at each other. Fu Yanzhou let out a piercing scream. The female ghost cackled. "One more, there's 1 more?" She reached out and dragged Fu Yanzhou out. Fu Yanzhou struggled desperately, lunging to yank open the wardrobe door. "Deng Xingren, save me quickly." I had never hated Fu Yanzhou so much. This cowardly, selfish man on the verge of death still wanted to drag someone else down with him. I must have been blind to have stayed with him for so long. I delivered a powerful kick to Fu Yanzhou's face, sending him tumbling, then turned and ran out. Running into the living room, I saw Fu Yanzhou, eyes bloodshot, chasing me with that knife. The female ghost had disappeared. Thinking of the 2 effigies just now, I realized the female ghost had possessed Fu Yanzhou, wanting to reenact the scene. Fu Yanzhou raised the knife to strike. I casually grabbed the vase nearby and threw it at him. The knife fell to the ground. Fu Yanzhou let out a cold laugh, his pitch-black eyes staring at me as he lunged and grabbed my throat. He was incredibly strong. I was being choked by him, my eyes rolling back, just as I was about to run out of breath. Outside, a hurried knocking suddenly sounded. "Deng Xingren, open the door." It was Kaio Moyu. I wanted to speak, but only hoarse sounds came from my throat. I desperately flailed my limbs, my consciousness becoming increasingly hazy. I saw a small, palm-sized paper effigy slip through the crack of the door. The next second, the effigy jumped onto the doorknob, the room door opened, and a beautiful young girl with a backpack stepped in. Whoa, what a lively scene. I struggled to lift my arm, waving it towards Kaio Moyu. She waved back at me. "Hello." Deng Xingren, save me, help me, big sister. Kaio Moyu walked over, rolled up her sleeves, and directly slapped Fu Yanzhou twice. The force was immense. Fu Yanzhou's face immediately swelled up. I saw a red shadow being knocked away by her, falling to sit beside them. Fu Yanzhou also sat limply on the ground, his eyes vacant, staring bewilderedly at everything before him. Kaio Moyu walked over to the female ghost, grabbed her by the throat, and slapped her 2 more times. Damn it, you're the one disturbing my sleep, making a racket in the middle of the night. We were all dumbfounded. Is beating ghosts that simple? Kaio Moyu took out a peach wood sword from her bag, tapped the female ghost with it, and she immediately meekly hugged her face and cried. Woo asterisk, great master, spare my life. Speak, what exactly is going on? Kaio Moyu asked, and the female ghost began to cry and tell her story. It turned out her name was Zhao Meiquan, also from Jiang City. She had been a housewife for 3 years, and her husband ended up having an affair. The mistress was Chen Jiao. Chen Jiao was beautiful and very vain. To buy handbags and luxury goods for Chen Jiao, her husband not only spent all of their savings, but also accumulated a significant amount of debt outside. My husband said it was our joint property, but he owed money, and I had to pay half. Woo asterisk, this scoundrel borrowed 300,000 from my in-laws, and my cousin is pressuring me to pay it back, even calling us fraudsters. With so much debt, we can't even pay the mortgage. How will I raise my child later, my child? The female ghost bowed her head and tore her dress. A ferocious wound was on her abdomen. She shrieked, My child, where's my child? As she wailed, bloody tears flowed from her eyes, and her whole body began to emit black energy. Not good. Kaio Moyu took out a few coins and quickly arranged a simple formation around her. Sparks of lightning flared on the female ghost's body. Kaio Moyu swung the peach wood sword again, and very quickly, the female ghost disintegrated into thin air. I stared blankly. This ghost seemed powerful, yet you destroyed her with just a few moves. What few moves? This is the 7 Killings soul-locking formation. This female ghost hasn't even fully formed into a vengeful spirit yet. She's very easy to deal with. How did your Deng family descendants become so degraded? Ah, Kaio Moyu packed her things while urging me. Where is Chen Jiao? Quickly drive me there. This female ghost must have been pregnant when she committed suicide. She also has a child. That little ghost is the real trouble. Fu Yanzhou and I didn't even have time to pack our things, hastily looking for the car keys. On the way to the hospital, I asked Kaio Moyu. She kept mentioning our Deng family. Does that mean my family used to catch ghosts too? Do you know the 8 great schools of Jianghu? The 8 great schools of Jianghu are divided into Jing divination, Dai earth, Pio wandering, Si strategizing, Feng wind, Hu fire, Zai restraining, Yao medicine, 8 schools. The Fengmen Wind School studies the geography of mountains and rivers under heaven. Most geomancers belong to the Fengmen. I am the Master Kaio of the Fengmen. HMPH, Master Kaio of the Fengmen, are you filming a TV show? Even if you can catch ghosts, you don't need to invent such a grand title. Fu Yanzhou scornfully pouted. I glared at him fiercely. He raised his hands. Okay, you continue. Kaio Moyu slowly recounted. Among them, the Jingmen Divination School is further divided into 9 Jing, 18 Bai, and 72 Gua Taomen. The 9 types of Jingmen include: first, fortune-telling; second, face-reading; third, character analysis; fourth, spirit writing; fifth, crystal gazing; sixth, communicating with the underworld; seventh, astrology; eighth, sorcery; ninth, ritual performances. Fortune-telling is at the head of the Jingmen. Your family's sect master, surnamed Liu, is a descendant of Liu Bowen. I listened, dumbfounded. So which of these 9 Jing does my family belong to? My grandfather couldn't tell fortunes or read faces. You belong to the Zion ancestral Yin or Dai Yin Earth Yin, communicating with the dead. In folklore, there's a saying to describe professions that earn money from the underworld. The executioner's knife, the forensic doctor's eyes, the paper effigy maker's craftsmanship, the corpse stitcher's needle and thread. Your Deng family ancestors were executioners. At the end of the Qing dynasty, there was a famous executioner named Deng Qiudao, Deng the Quick Knife, who was your great-great-grandfather. This profession involved too much killing, harming karmic merit. After the Qing dynasty fell, the profession also disappeared. To make a living, your Deng family then became apprentices to the Chu family. The Chu family specializes in making paper effigies. They're not like you, they have branches all over the country and their business is very prosperous. The last time I went to Chongqing, I visited the Chu family's shop. A stick of incense for leading souls sold for 2,800 yuan. Damn it, highway robbery. Oh, that's right. This time, the 2 paper effigies also came from the Chu family, 6,000 yuan each. You can go pay them tomorrow. Kaio Moyu ranted about the Chu family for over 10 minutes, and the car quickly arrived at the hospital. It was almost 1 a.m. Chen Jiao's accident at work meant the company covered all medical expenses. Her family used their connections to arrange a private room for her. When we found Chen Jiao, the nurse had just finished checking the room and left. Fu Yanzhou went over and nudged Chen Jiao, calling her name a few times, but Chen Jiao didn't react. Master Kaio, why isn't she waking up? Kaio Moyu walked over, lifted her eyelid to look. No need to rush, she'll come back to find you in 6 days. Fu Yanzhou didn't understand. 6 days, she'll be discharged then. No, 6 days later is the first 7-day ritual after death. I see your relationship is so good, Chen Jiao will definitely come to find you on her first 7. Don't worry. Fu Yanzhou let out a horrified cry, recoiling a big step, desperately waving his hands. Damn it, first 7? You mean she's already dead? Chen Jiao was dead. All the equipment next to her was also broken, not making any alarm sounds. Kaio Moyu walked to the window and took a look. This little ghost is fast. When Zhao Meiquan committed suicide, the baby was at least 8 months old, already formed. This baby died in her womb, its resentment soared to the heavens, directly turning into a killer. It even cut open Zhao Meiquan's belly to get out. No wonder Zhao Meiquan wore red, but was so weak. Most of her spiritual essence was absorbed by this child. Fu Yanzhou, you stay here. Wait an hour before calling the doctor. Otherwise, none of us will be able to explain this clearly. Leaving Fu Yanzhou to handle the other matters, Kaio Moyu led me to find the little ghost. As soon as we left the room, she found a chair and sat down, starting to play a puzzle game. I was anxious. Aren't we going to find that little ghost? Kaio Moyu didn't look up. No need to look, that little ghost is still in the room. I was horrified. What, and you still left Fu Yanzhou in there? I don't like him. A little scare won't hurt him. Kaio Moyu glared at me. The descendants of the Deng family may have fallen, but why do you have to find a boyfriend from the garbage dump? Are you going to break up with him? If not, I'll run you over with a forklift. I bowed my head in shame. Actually, he's not that bad. He just likes to flirt a little, is a bit selfish, a bit timid and avoids trouble, a bit glib, and a bit prone to arguing for the sake of it. Kaio Moyu looked at me with an expression like my grandfather riding a subway. Have you never been in love for 8 lifetimes? Listen to yourself, isn't that too much? Fine, after this is over, I'll break up with him. I squatted beside Kaio Moyu and watched her play the game for a while. Kaio Moyu went outside the hospital room and set up another formation that I didn't understand. We looked inside through the glass door, only to see Chen Jiao, who had been lying on the hospital bed, sit up. Fu Yanzhou recoiled a few steps in fear. Chen Jiao, aren't you dead? I knew you weren't dead. That so-called Master Kaio must have been mistaken. Chen Jiao said nothing, just sat there, making a crying sound like a newborn baby. Fu Yanzhou walked over to comfort her. He patted Chen Jiao's shoulder. Chen Jiao leaned her head on Fu Yanzhou's shoulder, smiling contentedly. Let's have this baby. As she spoke, she stroked her own belly. Fu Yanzhou's face was horrified. Baby? Chen Jiao, what are you talking about? I didn't touch you. Chen Jiao's expression changed. She stared at Fu Yanzhou with venomous resentment. You're not a good father, not a good father. Everyone wants to kill me. No one wants me to live. Her belly suddenly swelled up. Chen Jiao screamed, falling backward onto the bed, one hand clutching the bedrail. I'm about to give birth, I'm about to give birth. Fu Yanzhou was stunned, falling to the ground, scuttling backward on his hands and feet. The commotion in the room was immense, but besides me and Kaio Moyu, everyone else seemed to hear nothing. Very quickly, a small hand emerged from Chen Jiao's belly. I dared not look, hastily covering my eyes. Fu Yanzhou screamed and lunged towards the room door. Master Kaio, great Master Kaio, save me. Kaio Moyu rolled her eyes. I'm not any master. You believed that boasting. Fu Yanzhou cried, I was wrong, I truly was wrong, please don't hold it against me. I beg you, save me, Xingren. Xingren, quickly help me beg her. Fu Yanzhou was pulled by his leg by the little ghost, letting out a piercing scream. Kaio Moyu told me to stay outside, then put on her backpack and walked into the room. A few minutes later, the room door opened again. After everything returned to calm, I realized that everything just now seemed to have been an illusion. Chen Jiao was still lying on the bed, her belly not cut open. Her chest rose and fell, she seemed to still be breathing. Kaio Moyu shrugged. Her soul was just sucked out by that little ghost. I put it back in, but more than half of her 3 souls and 7 spirits have dispersed. Even if she wakes up, she'll be a vegetable. This is karma, her own creation. She has to pay for it herself. After leaving the hospital, Kaio Moyu told me to go to Chongqing to find the Chu family. You have Yin-Yang eyes by birth. You are undoubtedly destined to gather yin. Even if you don't attract those things, they will come to find you. Your grandfather's intention was for you to be a timid tortoise, living a peaceful life until old age. But I've calculated for you, your fate holds 3 great life and death calamities. This was only the first. The debt of gratitude my Kaio family owed you has been repaid. The next 2 calamities you must overcome yourself. Go to the Chu family and learn some skills. The paper effigy school, they're not good at other things, but they're very good at making paper effigies to find substitutes for themselves. I am very timid. I really didn't want to get involved with these things anymore. After hearing Kaio Moyu's words, I stood there, hesitating. The path is yours to walk. If you truly don't want to go, that's fine. Kaio Moyu patted my shoulder. We're friends. For the next 2 calamities, call me early and I'll still come. Really? My eyes lit up. Kaio Moyu suddenly extended her hand, rubbing her thumb and forefinger together. Next time, I'll give you a 20% discount. I'll charge about 700 to 800,000 yuan. Just try your best to earn money. 700 to 800,000 yuan, I gasped, a cold shiver running through me. After returning, I immediately broke up with Fu Yanzhou without hesitation, moving out of his house. Fu Yanzhou refused, shamelessly coming to find me. Xingren, it was all my fault before. Please forgive me. From now on, I'll keep my distance from those women. Who knows if there are ghosts behind them? They scared me to death. Xingren, I beg you, I don't want to leave you. Get lost, I said sternly. I'm busy earning money. I don't have the mind for dating. Moreover, Kaio Moyu said that Fu Yanzhou was possessed by 2 ghosts, so he'll have bad luck for at least 10 years and all his money will be gone. If you're unlucky, fine, but don't drag me down. I blocked Fu Yanzhou's number and transferred to another company in a neighboring city. Before leaving, I went back to my hometown to sweep my grandfather's grave. While cleaning the old house, I unexpectedly found a rusty iron box under my grandfather's bed. I opened the iron box and inside was a thin book. On the cover were 4 characters, Yin-Yang communication paper effigy. In the bottom right corner of the book, there was also a seal of the Chu family. Was this the other path Kaio Moyu had spoken of? I clutched the book, then walked out of the room.